What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going through the fragrances that got me the most compliments here in New York City. So I'll do this kind of like staggered in between male, female, male, female. There's only 4 fragrances on this list. So I'll start off with the male. This is compliments from either coworkers, out in the streets, and I'll tell you specifically where it came from. But this is going to be from a coworker. It's going to be Viking. So Viking's going to be the first one I'll speak about, just because I've spoken about it in my last videos, especially this month while I'm here. I'm flying back home tomorrow. So this challenge pretty much came to an end. I don't remember which fragrances I chose to begin with, of which ones I thought was going to get the most compliments here. I honestly didn't even think I was going to get any compliments. But Viking, from another man, enjoys the fragrance. So this is, like I'm telling you, it's a really manly man fragrance. Might be not, really loved by women, but from other men, you might get some recognition, not in a bad way, just in a bro way. Pretty much like, you smell good. This is kind of a fragrance like a man wants to smell like, or like when you smell a man wearing this fragrance, you're like, damn, I need that fragrance in my collection. But yeah. This is my first time. This was also my first time smelling it on somebody else. I've never had anybody wear Viking around me. And yeah, the scent trail was really nice, at least when I was around him. I wasn't really too much around him to be able to pick up, to kind of like analyze it for too long, just because it was like, I'll see him and I'll probably just do something else after. So I'll probably see him for like a few minutes or whatever. But starting with Viking, that was one compliment. All of these are pretty much even with one compliment. So then let's go ahead with a compliment from a female. It was 2, but the one was doing most of the talking, so the other was just doing most of the agreeing. It's gonna be Peach Mirage from Colognes. This one, I know it was not on that list that I made a video of at beginning of the month. This is actually just a fragrance that I got before I left again. So I went from New Jersey, went back home, got a few fragrances in. This was one of them, and decided to bring this one with me on this trip. I wasn't really expecting a compliment from it. I did smell these fragrances in New Jersey. I thought they smelled really nice, the Colognes fragrances. And then this was a must-have, especially for the price that I paid for this fragrance. Definitely significantly way less than even just an 100 ml. This is a 200 ml size. It's pretty much like halfway. Definitely saved a lot of money with how much I spent for this fragrance. It was just someone that was looking to get rid of his bottle to buy a new one. And I've done a few deals with them before, so really nice fragrance. This was from a female, maybe 2. She was just agreeing the other one, so I'm not gonna really say that she gave me a compliment. She was just agreeing with what the other one was saying. So at the number 2, or it doesn't even matter, it's just gonna be Colognes Peach Mirage. Interesting fresh peach fragrance. Well, I guess you could put that at the number 2 spot, because same coworker that borrowed this fragrance also borrowed Peach Mirage, and he was really enjoying the wearing. I don't gatekeep. And especially I'm here in a hotel. I was here for a year. I was here for a month. We were at the same hotel, or coworkers, whatever. We got along just fine. He ordered a bottle of Viking, and then now he wants to order a bottle of Peach Mirage. Kind of just gave him like some test wearings and all that fun stuff. So again, I have a lot of fragrances, so I don't mind people using my fragrances at all. So yeah, he really enjoyed this one. So technically, you could kind of like 2, maybe 3, but I'll keep it at 1, just because it was from a female. The one that was for sure like, damn, you smell good, that was this one. Then from another guy, Aventus Cologne. This is going to be a separate co-worker that said something about this. Again, my bottle is just slowly going down. I probably have like 30 mLs, if that, left. I need to get a bigger bottle of this, and again, I'm not too afraid of getting the newer batches. I've smelled them. They smell great. They project fine. No, not really too big of a difference at all. So I don't mind getting a newer bottle either. This is a 2020 bottle. I don't mind getting the most recent batch. I'm not really a batch person with Creeds. I have owned Creeds for a while. I don't really, like, sure, there's a little bit of batch variation, but like performance and all that stuff is not really a big difference, at least on my skin. So I'm not really, looking for the strongest batch or anything like that. I'm really not even looking for a batch. I'm just trying to find the best deal on a Creed fragrance, and I'll purchase it. But yeah, Aventus Cologne did get me another compliment from a coworker, different coworker, and yeah, the same coworker that borrowed these two, he wanted to borrow this one, but this is the one that I told him it ain't happening. This one, I got barely anything left in it, and it ain't going on your skin. So he can smell it on me, but you're not borrowing this one. I get kept it a little bit. It is what it is. And then finally, this was my scent of the day that I got a compliment on. We went out today for dinner. It was like 6 coworkers in total. And then there was a female coworker that I was sitting next to. And she smelled this fragrance on me. It's going to be Intoxicated by Killian. So I was actually going to reach for something else today, but then I was like, I brought this fragrance to wear it more. So I put this fragrance on. And yeah, she kind of just said, "Are you wearing cologne?" And I said, "Yes." And then she was like, "It smells really good." Or no, she said it smelled really nice. I think that's what she said. And I was like, "Thank you." And she was like, "It's Intoxicated by Killian." She didn't even ask what it was. I just told her. But yeah, so Intoxicated by Killian got me a compliment. I think this would be my first compliment. If you ask my wife what this smells like, she would say it smells like rice and beans. But to me, it doesn't smell like rice and beans. This was my favorite fragrance in my collection for a while. You're Drugged by Amir was one of the first fragrances that I purchased. Not even purchased. I traded one of my fragrances for the Fire Your Desire and You're Drugged by Amir, which are 2 clones, a clone of Angel Share and a clone of this fragrance. I didn't really know what the clone was. I didn't know about this fragrance at all. But I just did the trade just because I was just getting into more fragrances at the time. And then especially the clone fragrances. So I was really interested in whatever the real DNA or the real fragrance of that clone was, and that was Intoxicated by Killian. And part of me I did enjoy the clone of You're Drugged, which is the clone of Intoxicated, more than the Angel Share clone. So I really did enjoy it. This fragrance put Killian on my radar. Like, sure, Angel Share is good, but this one is a fragrance I really love. Sometimes it's kind of hard now to put it in the top 5 just because I barely wear it. Part of me feels like I'm trying to save the juice because I hold it so special and I don't want to wear it all the time. But today was one of those days that I was like, I'll pull it out, I'll wear it, and I got a compliment on one of the last days that I'm here. So definitely not one that I expected to get a compliment at all. And keep in mind, we were also pretty close, sitting next to each other pretty closely at a restaurant. So, it wasn't like she was smelling me across the room. None of that stuff. She was just right next to me and she was able to smell it, which again, we were at dinner. So I don't want someone to be overwhelmed by my fragrance at dinner. So I think this was a good choice for tonight. But yeah, these are the 4 fragrances that got me compliments in New York City. These are not exactly the fragrances I was expecting to get compliments with. I think Aventus Cologne was in there for sure. I don't remember if I put Viking in here, but Aventus Cologne for sure was in that video.